All right, boys, it's a big one. On Sunday, I know when you looked at the schedule, this is one, if you're a guy like me, kind of chalk up as a dub. Get a little nervous, but, we should win. I'm picking us.
This is one you chalk up as a dub way before you knew how silly Jayden Daniels is going to be.
True. Listen, a lot of times I pick just based on I disrespect the opponent.
Understood. I know the bit. It's an evergreen bit.
Which, by the way, Drabby, you tweeted that guy that was hating on us for doing a steak bit or something or whatever, and then I went and I did the unthinkable. I looked at the comments. The number of people that hate this show is shocking. I mean, I've been doing.
Why
this
would you look at the comments? I mean, that's
it doesn't even bother me anymore because I've seen it all.
Sure,
but it's just Redskins fans. They're so annoying.
I mean, that's
I got a kick out of it.
I sort of did too.
Because what they don't understand is we don't need 100% of people like the show.
Right. I know. I need about 6%.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about 6% going to the Hall of Fame.
We got 10%. We're
give
on
us
top
10
of the world.
to 12%, and we're just right.
10% is I mean,
90% of you guys can hate us.
Right.
I don't care.
Yeah,
it's wild.
I feel like some of those people are actually biggest supporters. They just like to hate with the comments.
You like to say that. I think there's people who truly do hate us.
There's definitely a segment of people.
It's always been that way. It's not a change. It's always been that way, but my God. And then they talk about our surface level sports knowledge, which I laugh at, which is basically true, especially when I pick a game based on I just hate the organization.
Look, people can take shots at our sports knowledge, but our sports knowledge trounces 99.99% of the general population.
Everybody thinks they're an expert.
I mean, please bring it on.
So 405 start.
Maybe not about baseball. I'll leave baseball off to the side. There's some blind spots, but generally, we're way ahead of the game.
I saw one of those comments, and they're like, these guys just spent 2 straight segments talking about steak. I was like, actually, it's factually incorrect. We just had Spencer Carberry, the head coach of the Washington Capitals, on the show. Then we did a steak segment. And then we had Darryl Green, Hall of Famer.
That is correct.
Of course, they exaggerate.
You got a beef with that? Steak off at 8 o'clock.
People hate Renaissance men. That's what we are.
It's wild.
We got a lot of different talents.
So 405 start, that works for me. Actually, I normally don't like them, but coming back from Cornell, that's great.
Right.
Sleep
it's good
in.
for you.
Don't necessarily have to get up at 4 a.m. or something to drive home. Northwest Stadium, I still hate that name. If you're like me and you're watching it, Ian Eagles doing the play-by-play. Charles Davis is the analyst. Evan Washburn, our buddy, is doing the sideline reporting. Big game. We pretty much dominate them. We're 6-3, lifetime at home against the Panthers. Unfortunately, last time we played them, we lost 20-13. But what are you going to do? If you look at the individual stat leaders, Jayden obviously leading the way for us. Brian Robinson on the ground. Terry's got 4 touchdowns. For them, Andy Dalton has kind of turned things around for them a little bit. And then Chuba Hubbard, is that
Chuba Hubbard? You got
Chuba
it. I thought
Hubbard.
A few years ago, I thought it was Chubba Hubbard. That sounds better. Chubba Hubbard sounds better than Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah,
but it is Chuba.
I mean, he is a revelation to me. I don't pay attention to fantasy, so he's not one of my guys. But he's got 485 yards on the ground.
He's killing it.
And
he's
doing
having
a great job for them.
Really good season, and he chips in the passing game as well.
I put up this graphic yesterday of the Jayden Daniels effect.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure who originally put that out, but you can see this on our Instagram, Sports Junkies Radio. And they had the quarterback since 2017 and the amount of points the Commanders scored per game with those quarterbacks. Do you care to hear the Jayden Daniels effect?
Yeah, I'd love to hear this.
So Kirk in 2017 led an offense that scored 21.4 points per game.
Kirk is my guy. That is my guy.
It's actually the best of the rest.
Yeah.
Okay, so 21.4 was the high water mark in 2017.
Now it gets grisly.
Alex Smith led an offense that scored 17.6 points per game.
It was the most boring offense ever.
Which was better than Case Keenum, who led a team that scored 16.6 points per game. Now Alex Smith came back and led an offense that scored almost 21 points per game at 20.9. Taylor Heineke led an offense that couldn't get to 20, 19.7 points per game.
I'd round up to 20 if I were TH.
That was the first year of Heineke, because the second year of Heineke was 18.9 points per game. And then Sam Howell couldn't get us to 20. He was at 19.4 points per game.
Just blame
This year, Cliff Kingsbury, who was on probation for you after week 2, and Jayden Daniels have led an offense that's scoring 29.7 points per game.
I round that up to 30. 29. Anything more than 29.5 equals 30.
I have him at 29.7. Is that what you have him at?
Yes.
Yeah, 29.7 points per game. That's second. So I don't know who's first, or maybe it's tied. Or the Ravens right there. Ravens probably have, they're probably one. Total offense, we're fifth. So I'm just looking at the stats and kind of just seeing how we compare to Carolina. We're a little all over the place, but we've got some areas where we're silly, right? We're silly in scoring offense. We're silly in third down offense.
Love it.
We're silly in total offense. We're silly in rushing offense.
Silly to the fourth power. By the way, the Lions lead the league in scoring at 30.2 points per game.
And then we're tied with the Ravens.
Tied with the Bucks.
Oh, the Bucks.
And the Ravens are right behind. The Ravens are behind the Commanders by 0.2 points.
Lions have played one less game, so in terms of total points, the Commanders are number 1.
Gotcha. But then, so we're a little low, obviously, in defense. Total defense, we're 22nd. Scoring defense, 22nd. Passing defense, 19th. I actually thought we'd be worse there. Third down defense, 29th.
Yeah, that's not great.
They got to get this figured out. I watched Joe Witt's presser last night.
But weren't the Ravens like 9 for 12? I want to say they were something around there.
But part of it is lack of pass rush, because third downs, you need that pass rush getting to the quarterback in there. They're not able to do it consistently.
Witt actually said, he says, I'll take the blame. I mean, he's one of those stand-up guys, like he's no BS. He's like, I'll take the blame. We lose this game. He says, but 4 plays killed us. If we don't have those 4 plays, we win that game. And he didn't identify which 4, but he said it's communication. It's sometimes, he said 2 times the play was communicated to the person and they didn't hear it or didn't execute it. 1 time they communicated the wrong thing and they did the wrong thing.
But didn't it seem like, all right, in terms of the passing it, that any time that Mark Andrews ran across the field or Zay Flowers ran across the field, they were wide open?
Maybe, but think about it. He knows more than me. He said 4 plays beat us. If we don't have those 4 plays, he said, they're going to make plays because they're a great football team. Lamar's going to make plays. You're going to give up some yards. But there were 4 plays. I don't know which ones he was identifying. 4 plays killed us, and he says, and I'll take the blame for it. We got to get better. So I'll tell you what, he is kind of inspiring when you watch him. He kind of gets you fired up. When you watch Cliff, it's kind of boring. And honestly, when I watch Dan, and I think Dan's great for this team, he's kind of boring, he's very calm.
You like a rah-rah coach.
I like a balls to the wall. I like a Gruden. I like the Grudens.
By the way, the Ravens were 6 for 10 on third down, not 9 for 12.
Yeah.
But 60% is pretty good.
Anyway, but they did. He also talked about Witt did about the injuries. I mean, they definitely, they lose John. There's a couple other guys that are nicked up. They had, of course, signed a couple D tackles. So we'll see how they respond defensively. But when you look at Carolina, here's what's kind of scary. They're good at nothing. Total offense, 25th. Scoring offense, 28th. Passing offense, 23rd. Total defense, 29th. Scoring defense, 32nd. They're giving up almost 34 points per game, Cakes.
Right. I mean, this is why when you look at this game, this is a Carolina Panthers team that will be picking in the top 3 of the upcoming NFL draft.
Yeah.
And you can't lose to that team at home.
I mean, you
can't fumble against that team at home, especially coming off a loss to Baltimore.
They're 32nd in scoring. They're worse in the league in scoring defense. They're 23rd in pass defense. They're 31st in sacks. They're 30th in rush defense. They're 30th in third down defense. They're 27th in time of possession. I mean, everything points to why we are favored the way we are.
I'm wondering.
Just got to execute.
I know that
got to get it done.
I know that B-Rob is practiced this week. I'm wondering if they just feel like we can beat this Panthers team by giving Eckler the ball, McNichols the ball. Let's rest B-Rob for the stretch run for the second half of the season.
I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to play him.
I think that they need to secure the win. So if they feel like he's their best running back and he's shown to be their best running back overall so far, they're going to play him. But I think in the back of their brains, they're like, we can handle this Panthers team and give B-Rob another week of rest.